Hey, I'm Lucy with Rossmönster Vans, and today I want to show you around the Sprinter 170 4x4 that we just wrapped up. Before we go inside, I'll just talk about a few of the exterior highlights of this vehicle. Up top, we have a Fiamma awning. We also have some LED perimeter lights. Those are going to go around the full vehicle. We have an Aluminess Double Loop roof rack. Down here, we have an Aluminess Nerf bar with tread plates. Also around our sliding door, we have RB Components bug screens. Those are going to be at our rear door as well. Moving a little bit forward, this Sprinter has an agile rip kit, so you'll notice it has upgraded wheels and tires. We have the Black Rhino wheel on an all-terrain tire. And all the way in the front here, we have an Aluminess front bumper with a Warren winch. We have Hella 500 fog lights. Moving up to the top of the vehicle, we have a Bravo snorkel as well as a 52-inch 300-watt LED light bar up top. Let's step around back. All the way at the rear of the van here, we have an Aluminess rear bumper with a tire carrier, a storage box, a one-up bike tray, and then also the Aluminess Expedition kit. So we have the shovel and axe there. And then moving over to the driver's side of the vehicle, we have an Aluminess surf rack as well as an Aluminess ladder to get up to that roof rack. You can also get a nice view of our flare space on this van. It's going to be the extended depth flare space, so they're going to have a lot of room in there to sleep widthwise, and then they have Arctic turn windows on both sides. Let's step inside. As we step inside to talk about design and layout, just a few fun features in this van. We have a nice little storage cubby here as you enter the van, and then you also have a removable piece there so that even us shorter people can comfortably hop up into the vehicle. All right, welcome inside. Before we go into the specific components of the vehicle, I'll just talk about the layout and some of the design features. So starting with design features on the ground here, we have a sand dune oak flooring. Working our way up, we have some 5-panel door cabinetry. That's going to all be painted white. It's on our uppers as well. Our countertops are going to be walnut butcher block. And then all the way on the ceiling, we continue that white theme with a white ceiling panel, as well as our upholstered Duramax trim covers there. When it comes to layout, in the front of the vehicle, we have an additional row for passengers here with our foldaway bench seat and our additional captain's chair. This one is removable. Working a little bit further back, we have our galley predominantly on the driver's side. Then we have our bathroom on the passenger side. We have a pass-through into the garage in the rear, and then we also have our fixed bed all the way at the back. So I'm going to start in the front and work my way to the rear. So starting in the front of the vehicle, as I mentioned, we have this additional row of seating here. So we have a Freedman fold-away bench seat. I'll fold down to show you. This one's obviously going to seat 2 passengers. Really nice thing about these seats is that they're all going to have 3-point retractable seat belts. And then you also have the C.R. Lawrence T-vent windows on both sides so that these passengers can have a nice amount of airflow and also see out the windows, which is really helpful. And then our single chair over here is a JMG Captain's chair. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this one away, and then I'll show you the galley. Another thing that I forgot to mention about this riding area is that when you are parked, we do have a table here so that you can turn both of the front chairs around and have a nice little dining area for 5. So we have a big walnut table here on 2 center mounts that will go in the floor there. Moving further back, we have our galley area. So as I mentioned, we have our walnut butcher block countertops. Starting at the front, we have an Isotherm 4.6 cubic foot fridge and freezer up here on the left-hand corner. Beyond that, we have a Furrion 2-in-1 oven and range. So this is going to be propane operated, and we have a 3.3 gallon propane tank mounted to the exterior of the vehicle. So you can open that up, see the inside. Underneath this, we have a really nice roomy drawer bank. That's going to be a great place to store pots and pans and other kitchen utensils. And then beyond that, we have our 15 by 20 Ravati workstation sink. Nice big faucet there. And then underneath that, we have our 7-gallon removable gray water tank. On the passenger side of the vehicle, as I mentioned, we have our shower as well as our bathroom. So the walls of the shower are powder coated white to go with the rest of the clean white theme in this vehicle. We also have a teak shower grate on the floor so you don't have to stand on the shower pan directly. And then we have a dry flush toilet. I've said this many times before, but the best thing about dry flush toilets is that you can charge them up and use them outside of the vehicle or in there, but they're very portable. So that's a great feature. And then we also have our Nautilus self-cleaning retractable shower door here if you want to shut this area off. Moving beyond that, we have a very roomy closet area. You'll notice that in here they have an espresso machine and then just a ton of storage. So that's going to be really nice storage, especially if they are in fact traveling with 5 people while on the road. Underneath that, you'll see that we have 2 vents here. These are going to be for our Rixen hydronic heat and hot water system. So that's going to pull hot water to our faucet, to our indoor shower, as well as our exterior shower. And then all the way in the rear, we have our fixed bed. As I mentioned before, we have the extended flare space on both sides. So that's going to give us even more room for that widthwise sleeping. We have the Arctic turn windows on both sides, and then we have LED lights in the trim rings for both of those cutouts. Underneath our fixed bed, we have a little hard partition into the garage area, which will have its own lighting zone for easy loading and unloading at night. And then lastly, we just have all of these uppers. So as per usual, these are all going to be on gas struts for easy opening and closing. We have our V-latches so that everything stays in place during transit. And we also have a microwave over our oven and range so that all your galley stuff is in the same area. Lastly, when it comes to ventilation in this van, we talked about the fact that we have the Arctic turns in the back, the Sierra Lawrence windows in the front. We have a max air fan over this bathroom and galley area. And then all the way in the rear over our sleeping area, we have a Dometic Penguin AC unit. So that'll keep everything nice and cool in the summers. And then as we talked about before, we have the Rixen hydronic heat and hot water system to keep everything warm in the winters. Close it out, we'll talk about power systems before we go to the rear and actually show you the power cabinet and the water cabinet. So in here we have a concealed switch panel. We have our dimmable LED overhead dome lights. We have our under cab lights, which are also on dimmers here. This is just a switch to light up the rest of the panel. We have our Victron Bluetooth battery monitoring system. We have a Wii Boost. So this is really where all of our controls are going to be housed. And then if we step around back, I'll show you the rest of the power systems. So in the rear of the van here, as I mentioned, we have the RB components bug screens. We also have an onboard air compressor, so the port for that is going to be right there. Exterior shower, as we talked about before. All of these cabinets are going to be coated in hex ply, so that's going to be nice and durable and rugged as you throw gear back here. We have a gear tray on 500-pound locking gears or drawer slides. This is going to have L-track down both sides, so they can do all sorts of storage options there. We have an additional lighting zone for the rear here. And then I will show you our water and power cabinets. So on the passenger side, we have our water cabinet. And there you'll find a 40-gallon freshwater tank. Our Rixen hydronic heat and hot water system is housed in there. And then we also have a 3-stage water filtration system. And then moving over to the driver's side, we have our power system. So in here you can find 800 amp hours of lithium battery bank. We have a 3,000 watt inverter, and then there's also 300 watts of solar coming in through there. Another nice feature that this van has is smart charging. So when the vehicle's batteries hit below a certain percentage, the vehicle is going to kick on so that the vehicle itself can start charging the batteries even if you're not around or not there to turn it on and get all those systems running. That wraps up this van tour. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Lucy with Rossmönster Vans. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss a van tour. I hope you have a great rest of your day.